Hello everyone, this is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Two of my courses are available in English at the moment. 10 measurement cutting system and how to make a bomber jacket. Buy the courses to be different and beautiful. Today we continue working with the princess seams. This is our last lesson on this topic. Here you can see a dress with the shaped princess seams. They get narrower to the waistline, then expand, and get narrower again to the bottom. What do I want to tell you? Today I'm going to show you the basic principles for making such princess seams. You can make any princess seams you like. I remind you that you can make the sides and the center details of different fabrics. The center detail can be bright and eye-catching. Let's start working. We're going to make such princess seams. My basic pattern was extended from the shoulder to the bottom up to 105 centimeters. This length suits me. You can make dresses as long as you want. 80 or 90 centimeters or even 110 centimeters. It doesn't matter. Do what you like better. As I've already said, my basic pattern was made longer, 105 centimeters. I don't want the back details to be too tight and the front details to be too wide. This is why I'm going to move the side seam towards the front for about 2 centimeters. By doing so, I'm making the back wider and the front tighter. You can move the side seam wherever you want. You already know how to do it. Use your imagination. I've already told you that it's up to you where to move the side seam. This is the waistline. This is the center front. Have a look here. If I draw a straight line here, I need to make this part a bit tighter because the bottom is tighter than the top. If I make this line straight, then the dress will be straight as well. I want to make it tighter by 1.5 centimeters on each side at the bottom. I'm making both the back and the front tighter by 1.5 centimeters. Next, I'm going to draw princess seams. This is the back and this is the front. The front is still a little wider than the back. Anyway, there is some kind of harmony in the pattern now. Let's start with the front. Have a look at the sketch. It's better to have it in front of you when you work. I'm drawing a straight line from the armhole to the waistline. Approximately to the middle of the tuck. It is possible to draw a princess seam to the very center, but I don't want to do it. I want it end in the middle of the tuck. You are in charge of drawing. You can do whatever you want. The tuck starts here. I think that the line is too round. I'll alter it a bit. Much better. It's just slightly round. Down from the waistline, the center detail should be made for about 5 or 6 centimeters wider. Watch the way I'm drawing it. Stop at the hip level. I need to measure this distance. I'll alter the line a bit. Make sure that you like the line. This is very important. You can draw it however you want. As I've already said, I need to measure this distance, 16.5 centimeters. I need to measure and mark 2 centimeters smaller distance on the bottom, 14.5. Next, I need to connect these two marks. This detail is of a glass shape, with the princess seams being of this shape. We make ourselves of this shape. Just a few adjustments here. It's one thing to hear or read about doing something, and absolutely thing to do it yourself. The first option was better. I show you the way I usually work. The princess seam is ready. Next, I need to draw a tuck here. I'll outline the princess seam with the blue marker pen. When it's done, I'll outline the tuck. I want you to see everything clearly. This is the princess seam. This is the center front. What should I do next? Here's the tuck. I'm drawing it, making it very smooth. You should do the same. Watch the way I'm working. It should be done this way in any shaped princess seam. I'll tell you what to do if you need to make the tuck opening bigger. These points must match. It might seem difficult to connect these lines, but you should remember that all of these lines are biased. It would not have been possible on the lengthwise grain. Here's the tuck. I need to cut it. This is the tuck. I have a very difficult task: to draw exactly the same princess seam on the back. The distance between the center front and the middle of the princess seam is 11 centimeters. I need to measure and mark 11 centimeters on the back. When I cut this opening, I'll close the original one. I'll do it later. I'll be working with a pencil. I'll be able to erase it if needed. I need to measure this distance, 17 centimeters. 16 centimeters here. Let's make it 1 centimeter less. It's better if the lines are similar. 2 centimeters less at the bottom. You can see that this detail was made a bit tighter at the bottom. The detail on the back should look the same way. I'll outline these princess seam with a blue marker pen as well. I need to mark the ends of the tuck. Its opening should be moved to the princess seam. I like complicated details and designs. They make me think. This is absolutely the same tuck. It's just of different shape now. Here it is. Do not forget to mark the checkpoints. They must match when the details are cut. Here's the tuck. If this opening is not enough, you can draw additional tucks. Here, for example, it should also be slightly round. Don't be afraid of making additional tucks. It's a mistake to think that all the tucks should be straight and vertical. If, for example, the sides are gray, the additional tucks will be almost invisible. It's not necessary to do it, only if you need to. Watch what I'm doing next. Have a look here. Do not forget about the checkpoints on the waistline, on the hip line, in the dart top. It will be much easier for you to work with the details if you draw the checkpoints. I'm going to cut the tuck next. The shape is very beautiful. Next, I need to cut the dart and close the original opening. I remind you that when moving the chest dart, you need to cut about 5 mm from the shoulder. This is very important. Next, I need to cut the side seam. Notice that all the details were made a bit tighter at the bottom. We will have a gorgeous silhouette in this dress. This is the princess seam. The checkpoints match. The waistline, the dart, the side seam was made tighter, the back was made tighter. If you have an hourglass figure, for example, you can make it even tighter. It's not for me. This is the center front, no matter fold or seam. The side front detail. If you need to make it tighter, you can draw a such line here. I don't need to do it. The checkpoints on the waistline match. Here they are. You can also make the back tighter if you need. There's no need for me to do it. My body is absolutely amazing. Perfectly straight. The waistlines match. The princess seams are shaped. These are the center front, the front side detail, the side back detail, and the center back. Have a look at the sketch once again. Here it is. Sketch is one thing, but the real details are completely different. Today I showed you how to make shaped princess seams. I hope that each of you will have dozens of ideas after this lesson. I showed you one more example, and there are 100 of them. I wanted to learn to use your imagination. Sew dresses with the shaped princess seams. Creativity is the best occupation. I think that this was the last lesson of the series of working with princess seams. I'm sure that we will return to this topic later. There are still princess seams that start from the raglan sleeves, for example, from the yokes. I've already showed you several lessons of working with princess seams. I really hope that you find this topic useful and interesting. I want us all to be different and beautiful. This is what I'm here for. I work really hard to help you. That's all for today. My name is Irina Paukshte. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, buy my courses, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.